Hi, welcome to my build of King Kombat, a 40-inch flying wing, and it's now finished and it's ready to be taken off to the airfield, and we'll see how we get on with it. It's lovely to see it finished, and the weight is pretty good. I'm quite pleased with what the weight has come out at. The build weight for this was 900 to 1100 grams, or 32 to 40 ounces, and this is actually coming below the minimum weight. Only just. It's 880 grams or 31 ounces, so it's just below. It's about 21 grams an ounce below the minimum build weight, so I'm pleased about that. And I guess, like I've said before, that's mainly down to more modern electronics being light and servos. The fins, I've just put a little bit of hot glue front and back, and I didn't want to, they'd be easy to CA in or to epoxy in, but I didn't want to do that and then have problems getting them out. Now that holds them lovely and firm, and they will just come out really easy by just taking off the hot glue. So, right, and a look underside. Oh, and incidentally, the weights that I've just quoted were complete with the prop, spinner, but a dry weight, obviously, no fuel in the tank. Now, the hatch I had to adjust a little bit to get it to fit correctly, but that's okay now. And let me just line this up a little bit better, and I will zoom in. So you can see here inside the compartment, I've got the fuel tank coming forward. I've mounted the receiver on. What I've actually done is I've put Velcro onto the back of the receiver, and I've attached that to a piece of foam, which is probably about 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit thicker. And the foam I've actually stuck down to the balsa on the base of the compartment. And to stick the foam down, I find the best thing for that is hot glue. If you try using sticky double-sided tape, it just doesn't hold. Hot glue doesn't melt the foam, and it really holds it nice and tight. And again, I've used hot glue here just to put the antennae on either side, and there's a double usage there because the hot glue is just on the top of the tank as well, a little bit, and on this surface here, so it's just holding the tank to make sure that won't move. Although, to be honest, it was quite a tight fit, so I don't think it would move. Side mounted servo, as we've seen, and the battery is in the correct location. I just cut out a piece of square foam and then cut out a section big enough for the battery to fit in, but left a little bit of a flap for that to come down over the top of the battery, and that's held really tight. That's not going anywhere now. And the switch, well, I'm at my local airfield now, and we've been test running this morning, and this Thunder Tiger just doesn't have the guts, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to replace it, and luckily enough I put on that extra bit of plywood so I can take that off and just put on that Irvine 20, and that should have bags of power hopefully, but we'll see how it goes. Well, it's flown, and it flew beautifully. It was lovely to fly, and I'll show you the footage in just a second. Somebody recorded it on a mobile phone, so it's a little bit of a distance. It's not brilliant, but you can see the takeoff, bit of flight, and the landing. And full credit to Mr. Joe, who helped me launch it, for his enthusiasm. He was great. This Irvine 20 that I've got on here now has oodles of power. It is brilliant. When it's running, you can feel it trying to pull it out of your hands. So that is such a good engine to have on there, so that's a good change. After we'd launched it, it kept wanting to climb. I ran out of trim to try and correct that, so it was still manageable. I could still fly it. It flew lovely, very responsive, and the throws were kind of about right really, although I still need to play with that, and I need to obviously adjust that to try and correct that climbing. You'll see on the landing, I came round at about 4 meters high. I didn't want to get too close to the ground on the first flight, and I thought if I cut the engine about 4 meters, and I'll see if I can glide it in and flare it just at the last minute. But there was quite a bit of wind that day, and it kind of more or less stopped it dead at 4 meters high, and it tip stalled a little bit, but it did fall fairly flat. No damage except for that the muffler protector that I was kind of hoping would work. That just kind of went, snapped off. So that was kind of as stupid as it looked. So that's gone now. But it flew lovely. Anyway, take a look at the video and see what you think, and I will try and get some better footage at a later date.
Oh!